All right, it's no secret Al Sharpton has trouble with the taxes and paying them. The Reverend personally owes New York State close to $600,000. And now a new report finds that for every for-profit business started by Sharpton, well, it's been shut down for failure to pay taxes. And how does he keep getting away with this? Would you or I get this type of latitude? Here to discuss is Peter Flaherty, president of the National Legal and Policy Center. You know, and Al Sharpton is telling people, well, it's just these people, I have enemies that are going after me. Really? The New York Times is your enemy? They say he owes $1.4 million in taxes. Peter, have you ever seen a pattern like this?
Well, I think it's more like Al Sharpton has friends rather than enemies. The scale and scope of his unpaid tax obligations over the years would get any other taxpayer charged with crimes. Sharpton claims that he has payment plans and these obligations are under control, but the obligations just get bigger and bigger.
Look at this. He's owed $580,453 for federal taxes, dissolved in 2002 for failure to pay taxes. That's his top company. Then in Rebel Communications, he's totaled $10,585 in debt for 3 years. His company dissolves in 2009. What happens to that debt? And then his media group dissolved for failure to file taxes in 2007. It owed $7,000, loaned money to his National Action Network. And he owed Bo Spanky, I always wonder how hard it was to lock up that name, loaned money to National Action Network, dissolved in 2012 to pay after failure to pay $1,600. Now, overall, the Times says he owes $1.4 million, and I'm just wondering, in particular, how he's been able to get away with this. And after the pattern starts, where is accountants on this?
Well, I think the New York Times claims he owes closer to $5 million between himself personally and the for-profit companies he's been involved with. You have this pattern, which is also characteristic of his political campaigns and his nonprofit organizations, where they raise money. Sharpton lives lavishly off the cash flow, and then all the creditors, including the taxmen, are left holding the bag. In a way, it resembles, a bust-out scheme.
All right, I got to tell you what he said. He finally got back to us late at night when we wrote to him to get his explanation. He says, we have stayed current on all state and federal taxes over the last 6 years and are paying off the settled agreement on the years that were questioned. So he says he's at the end of a 6-year payback plan. Is there any way to know if that is in fact true and what the totals were?
No, the IRS will not comment, so all we have is what Sharpton says. Sharpton claims he set up payment plans with state and federal tax authorities, and he's current on those plans. But I think it raises other issues. His biggest nonprofit, the National Action Network, is funded by corporate America, by big companies like Walmart. They claim they're giving the money to promote civil rights, but right now they're giving the money to just pay back tax obligations incurred by Sharpton's organization.
Peter, if you or I did this with a series of companies, filing late almost all the time and never paying my balance almost all the time, what would happen to us?
Well, I think you'd be charged with a crime. Sharpton has suggested this is just sloppiness and it's a kind of problems that other taxpayers encounter all the time. That's the argument his friend, New York Mayor Bill de Blasio, has made. But I just don't buy the sloppiness argument. He has the cash flow now to hire accountants and lawyers, yet these questionable practices persist.
Unbelievable. Hey, Peter Flaherty, thanks so much.
Thanks, Brian. Have a great day.
All right, now we'll see what happens.